What's going on, everybody? So I want to just talk about this whole missed opportunity that the WB and the whole DCU is going through. And let's just face it, what Zack Snyder built. I know it's not about the whole, I'm a fanboy or whatever. Just hear me out real quick. We had something that started with Man of Steel with Henry Cavill back in 2013, something like that. And that kicked off the whole DCEU, and it's where it's at right now. But every movie that came out was connected when Zack Snyder was there. Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman. Yes, Batman vs. Superman was rushed, but blame WB for that because they wanted to copy Marvel, and, that's where we're at right now, still in this mess, pretty much 10 years into it, and now they're trying to reboot everything. But then we got Suicide Squad with David Ayer, and it was awesome because it connected. That's the part where I, as a fan, I'm interested that it connects, because you had Ben Affleck going, building up with a Deadshot, and that scene alone was awesome with him and Joker and Harley and the Batmobile. That was awesome, So I like how David Ayer was getting elements from, the character that was already there, which was Batman. So it just connects. That's the beautiful thing. Just like the MCU, you have these faces that they all connect. And of course, everything led up to Justice League, which, was again a disaster by the studio. So when you look at it, it's not the problem with the films. It's the problem with the studio, because they want to just change things last minute, and they always and they'll always stay the same because they're just the studio. They think they know what we want when they really don't, They pushed it once they got rid of Henry Cavill, and right after that, everybody else is gonna, pretty much be gone, So everything that Zack Snyder had, it was amazing. And then it was building up to the future with the nightmare scene, It just blows my mind how WB knows that we, the fans, want that, but they refuse to give us what we want. It just blows my mind because it just doesn't make any sense. There has to be some kind of evil power that's roaming inside WB. And like I said, WB/DC has people from the competition working within inside. They're sliding them paychecks under the table, to sabotage DC. There's no other explanation. There's really no other explanation. That's exactly what is happening, all right? And like Michael Keaton said in Batman Returns, when he told Max Schreck, when he was sitting down at the table, he's like, I know the Penguin runs the Red Triangle Circus gang. I don't have any proof, but I know that he's doing it. It's the same thing with this. I don't have any proof to say that, but I know that's exactly what's going on. Because business is business. And in business is the motto of take out the competition at whatever cost. And literally Disney has the money. So they're sending people. You're going to tell me there's not a pattern? Come on, let's go back. Joss Whedon, look at the disaster that happened. We got James Gunn. Look at what he's doing. Walter Hamada. And then Ann Sarnoff. These are all people, they're paid. Toby Emmerich. These are all people that are paid by the competitor to sabotage from the inside outside. But when Zack Snyder was there, okay, they didn't make the numbers 100% that everybody wanted, and they're not reaching that high number. They were high for the time, and like everything, you give it time, it's gonna grow. And then now look at where we're at. We want more. Why? Because that's what we got accustomed to all these years. Now that it's been stripped away from us, we don't have it anymore. Now we want it, we miss it. A lot of us were supporting it. Don't get me wrong. When I first saw Man of Steel, I didn't understand it. But then I rewatched it, I liked it, and I was like, wow, I like this route they're going in. So when something is new to anybody, everybody's always like against it. But then when you get used to it, everybody's like, whoa, we're not getting no more. So it's understandable. Same thing with Batman vs. Superman. That movie was rushed. They should have just built a Ben Affleck solo film. Should have just let Zack Snyder do his thing. He already had made Man of Steel. And then have them face off as Batman vs. Superman. They're trying to copy Marvel, and it just didn't work. So it was two films that were rushed into one, but whatever. And of course, we got the Ultimate Edition. That was much better. But when we look at it, Zack Snyder, David Ayer, Patty Jenkins, and what's this guy, the one that did Aquaman? I can't remember his name right now. They all had a vision, and they all went their own ways, but everything was connected. Because look at the first Wonder Woman. Yes, it was directed by Patty Jenkins, but who was involved? Zack Snyder. First Aquaman, okay, Zack Snyder wasn't involved, but I'm sure that the dude that directed it was getting tips from him. Hey, what should we do? What do you think? This and that. Because you think these people don't talk behind the scenes? Of course they do. You know, they want their movie to be good, so whatever. And, you know, it's just crazy because Wonder Woman 84, without Zack Snyder, it was a mess. Look, it's a mess. And now, we're not even getting Wonder Woman 3. You know, as of right now, we don't know because that's been canceled recently. But we never got a Ben Affleck Batman movie. He's the only actor that has played Batman, and he was never given the opportunity to play in his own solo featured film, which is terrible because he should have had his own movie, you know? And a lot of people judge him because in Batman vs. Superman and Justice League, that's not enough. Oh, but then you have Robert Pattinson, right? There's nobody, just comes on board, gets announced as the new Batman, and he gets, you know, Ben Affleck gets robbed because that title was supposed to be for Ben Affleck that he was writing and directing, the Batman, you know, where Deathstroke was going to come out and all that. But, again, everything was lining up with Zack Snyder. They wouldn't let him finish his vision. So that's the whole thing, you know? Now, this is why I am against James Gunn, because he's erasing everything that's already been established. Because with Black Adam, that still connects within the universe, you know? But then what? Now they want to change it. They want to start again. How many times do you guys have to start over? Just continue with what you have. That's what us, the fans, want. But again, this is what, you know, where we're at right now. And like I said, without the Snyder verse and without Zack Snyder, DCU is dead. It really is. A lot of you new generation people, you know, that are listening are, hey, you know, well, you know, things change. You have to adapt. No. Don't give me no excuses. I'm tired of hearing excuses. Let Zack Snyder finish his thing, and then I would be happy to move on. But since you guys cockblock and got in the way and said, no, we're going to restart it. You know what? Now, for doing what you did, you're going to get what you deserve. Boycott WB. And yes, against WB, because it's that corporation that has to be held responsible because they're allowing all this mess to continue. That's where I stand at. So like I said, New Year's resolution from 2023 and on, right? Quote unquote, the whole 10-year plan, boycott WB. WB/DC will not be getting my money anymore. I stand with that, and that's where it's at. Until next time.